Just not quite so much standing water as there has been. Here they come towards us. A few bucking Broncos there on the grid, but they absolutely hammer it down into Copse Corner, the sharp right-hander at the end of the long start-finish straight here at Silverstone. The entire pack going through. We saw some great performances earlier, notably from the young Latvian Alex Beckers. I wonder if he can do as well in this race as Jack Sim leads. Chasing down through Maggots. There we are, this slight left-hander and then the extreme right-hander of Beckett's. If they forgot to turn right there, they'd be straight off down the hanger straight and onto the Grand Prix loop here at Silverstone. But for now, it's down the sharp National Straight into the complex of Brooklands and Luffield. In fact, Luffield 1 and Luffield 2, and it's Jack Sim, number 96, that leads, being chased by Stuart Mitchell. And then we see Andy Batt, and being put under pressure by Paul Hughes. Paul on the 33 Triumph runs around, or tries to run around the outside of that second element of Luffield. Now we're on board with David Jones, the onboard courtesy of Ariston, and down they go into this very slow chicane. The engine almost turns off there, but what it does do is it means you can pour on the power, but you do it just a little later, and a slightly safer exit up the start-finish straight there. There we see Ralph Leturco. In fact, in these weather conditions, Ralph's the only one we can pick up really clearly in those almost day-glow yellowy green overalls, sort of Valentino Rossi look-alike gear. Now look at Stuart Mitchell. He's closing down on Jack Sim in the lead. Who have we got up there? Mark Kringle's up there as well. There's Ralph Leturco running in 5th place, and behind him is Alex Beckers having another good race. So we'll see if Alex can make any progress from there. As well, pressure for Jack Sim. Flying down under the National Bridge comes Stuart Mitchell from that pole position, remember, but he really did carry a lot of speed down there into Brooklands and Luffield. But Jack Sim still, oh well, he didn't. He had to almost sit it up there as Stuart Mitchell decides that now is the time. So Stuart Mitchell moves into the lead. He is, of course, leading Mitchell in Young Gun. Jack Sim in second. He's still leading the TDG Cup runners. And then we see Ralph Leturco and Alex Beckers. Look at him get the power down there. And Beckers, well, he's alongside Ralph Leturco. We actually have to wait until they turn in at Copse. We see Josh Wainwright there. But there, yes, look, Alex Beckers has got ahead of Ralph Leturco. So that was beautifully done. We saw the young Latvian earlier, and he was very happy with his race 1 result. It's his best effort since coming to the country. Ooh, and sliding into view. Well, that's Adam Parsons there. And that's the end of his race. He goes across to his bike, but meanwhile Stuart Mitchell into the lead, and let's see if he's managed to put, well, he's got a little bit of a gap he's put on Jack Sim, but Jack likely to be under pressure any moment because Mark Kringle is running well in 3rd. Then it's a little bit of a gap back to Reese Rothwell, and this is a good run by Reese. He's up in 4th place. And back on board with David Jones, and we see Wayne Martin there, cross from right to left, and now he's coming back in front of us. Looks like Andy Batt ahead of him. So David Jones staring right up the tailpipe of the 99 machine of Wayne Martin, and people squeezing past in the chicane every which way. But here they come, blasting down the straight. Josh Wainwright at the head of that group now. He's got ahead of Reese Rothwell. There we see Ralph Leturco again. We can pick him. There, this great battle for was effectively 4th place, and Josh Wainwright in there with Reese Rothwell, Alex Beckers, Ralph Leturco. There, Mark Cheetham chasing that group hard. He comes into this weekend as championship leader in the TDG Cup, but well, he won't want it finishing like this because Jack Sim, who is scoring good points in the TDG Cup, is still way up ahead of him. Now we see Stuart Mitchell, the leader, coming through Brooklands and Luffield. Once again, picking his way, looks very confident there, but oh, loads of pressure for Jack Sim once again. He's having a real fraught day in some respects. Mark Kringle is right with him, and Mark, well, he'll be taking positions away in the race overall, but not TDG Cup points, of course. There we see Andy Batt once again in the thick of the action further back. And David Jones, our camera bike, he's just coming at the rear of that little group into the chicane. And once again, you can see less standing water on the circuit, so although it's still persistent in terms of coming out of the sky, with slightly better conditions underfoot as they pour down the start-finish straight, and then this long right-hander of Copse and the slightly uphill exit. Great pictures these from the Ariston camera on board David Jones' machine. Almost a lean over there to the left into Maggots before this very critical corner. Got to get all that speed off and set yourselves up for Beckett's. As there we see the battle for second, and Mark Kringle has just got his nose in front of Jack Sim. On Jack, running slightly wider there through the exit of Luffield, but well, as I say, he's the leading TGG Cup runner, so he won't be too miffed about seeing Mark Kringle and Stuart Mitchell ahead of him. And there goes Mark. Is there anything he can do about the gap, Stuart, in the rest of the race? As we see Lance Carey there back in the pack. Lance, of course, a superb pole position in the dry and sunny conditions at Brands. Oh, goodness me. It's challenging enough taking on that chicane without Ben Cater going AWOL in the middle of it, and Ben just recovering and proceeding merrily on his way. As once again with David Jones up the inside towards Copse. And well, it's a fantastic impression of quite how little the riders can see. Of course, Matt, the only thing that clears the rain off the visors at this speed is the speed itself. But David setting himself up once again for Beckett's and the blast down the National Straight, but up the front, well, Josh Wainwright making great progress there. There he is with those gold-coloured wheels. See him easily, chased by Alex Beckers, Reese Rothwell, and Scott Rowbottom now. Scott's tagged himself onto the end of that little group. Oh, and there we see Josh Wainwright. He's going for it right the outside of Jack Sim, and he manages to get that one stopped, sat up and go for it. So an excellent pass there from Josh Wainwright. And there we see Stuart Mitchell leading into Copse. Then Mark Kringle, and now Josh Wainwright in third, and the last lap flag being shown at the start-finish line in the gloomy distance there. So Josh really picking his time to get up another position. And then we see Wayne Martin, and that's our cameraman. It's David Jones, and there he is, the Ariston camera, just picking out Wayne there as we chase him up the start-finish straight towards Copse. Well, in his wheel tracks, there is Wayne, and into Copse corner he goes. A little bit of a sit-up there, and David closing on him as they run up for the last time towards Maggots. And meanwhile, with a quarter of a lap to go, the leaders approaching the stadium section. That's back marker there, Paul Marks, who they'll be around his neck soon. There we see Stuart Mitchell just behind, and Paul setting himself for Luffield. There, Stuart Mitchell in the lead, number 36. And Paul just staying offline to allow Stuart safely through into that chicane for the last time. Oh, but look at the battle behind for second as Stuart powers out. Yes, he has a quick look, and he's going to take the win in this second triple challenge race. But look at the thrash behind, and it's Josh Wainwright, I think. Josh through the rain, yes, Josh Wainwright gets up on the 55 machine to take second place, just ahead of Mark Kringle. Then Alex Beckers, another brilliant finish for him. He finished in fourth ahead of Jack Sim. And I think Scott Rowbottom managed to get up ahead of, yes he did, Reese Rothwell. So Stuart the win from Josh, Mark Kringle third, Alex Beckers fourth, Jack Sim fifth, and Scott Rowbottom in sixth place.